Hi, welcome to Bookwood. I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. If we haven't met before, my name is Mashou and I create bookish and journal related content over here on YouTube. And it's already time to dive into my TBR for the month of August. If you missed it, I am organizing my very first readathon. You will find all information in the corner up there. And in this round of Bookhunt, I'm going to pick the books I'm going to read for each of the teams. So this is a team-based readathon. And as the person creating it, I am not reading for just one team. For that, I have two co-hosts for the Adua to See. That would be Clio from Bemused Bookworm, which is another Belgium YouTube channel. And for the controversy, we have Louise over at Foxes and a Fairy Tale. She's from Scotland. And what I'm going to do is I will pick out 5 prompts out of the 20 that I have created to read for each team. And also I will leave some of these prompts aside, but we'll go over that during the game so that I have some options for books if not all the books that I would like to read come in from the library. Because of course I still read mainly through the library, and that means that sometimes books aren't available for me. If you want to know more about how and why reading through the library, then I also have a very nice vlog about that in which I show off the beautiful library that we are a member of. It is located in a historical castle, so it's worth having a look at. We are going to go in tabletop view. I will do a little voiceover to walk you along the game, but if you are curious for the basics of the rules that I always adapt a little bit to what I need it for, I also have a little video about that, again, up there in the corner, and that will allow you to follow along. Don't forget, you can also play along with this game, and all documents for that are listed in the description box, where you can always find chapters, links, and everything you need to make it easy to navigate through this video. My TBR game is based on one of my favorite board games, and that is Indian Summer. More information on that game in the description box below. We'll start by setting it up, sorting through all the pieces that will have a role to play during this game, and the little post-its holds the treasures that I gained from succeeding previous challenges. I filmed this game in June since my library closes over the summer and I needed my books put on hold, and I filmed August before filming July, so I'm playing with the rewards up to date until June, and so I don't have the rewards for July, but that's not a problem. We'll fix that later. Normally I use this game to pick out 6 books, and each rectangle will represent one, and we'll have to pick berries to know the prompts. And in this case we will be picking 10 books, 5 for each tribe, and so Marin is adding in some extra berries, and I will need to have 5 of each at least, so that I can pick 5 books for each tribe. To get these berries, I need to place these Tetris-like pieces on the board. I can start wherever I want, but then they need to touch each other going further along. And I only gain what's visible through the little hole. So in this case, I have 1 berry standing for a prompt for each tribe. But I also can gain mushrooms who will allow me to double up on books. I can also gain the nuts, which we can use to feed squirrels. We'll come to those later. And then there is also this one feather that would allow me to pick out the different prompts if I would have more prompts than I need for my TBR. That won't be the case during this game, but that's fine. So I will just continue adding the pieces that Merin is drawing out of the bag. When a piece does not fit, we put it next to the board, and at the end of the game each of these pieces will represent 100 pages. So for example, if I have 3 of them, I will need to have one of my books being between 300 and 400 pages. We will only have one, so that will not cause me any challenges. We have these little 1 square openings left. We'll fill them up with squirrels, and each of these squirrels will represent a little read, like a comic book, a manga, or a short story. Even if that's part of a collection, it would only be like 1 story of the book, because I really want to get myself reading these smaller things, and to limit the amount of smaller reads in case we can feed the squirrels nuts, and then they are happy and we don't read for them. I forgot to have Merin draw a animal tile, which would allow me to gain something extra, but I didn't gain because I didn't represent that form on the board. This little clip is for preparing the prompts. Merin and Naoki have gotten each little stack of prompts. This is not the 20 of the readathon. I pulled out the ones for which I have the book at home, in case a book wouldn't come in from the library, or if I would have some time to read something extra, that I'm sure I can pick a prompt that I have something to read for. And so they mingled up everything into 2 boxes, one for each team. So I ended up with quite some squirrels, so let's feed some, and I will read 4 manga this month because I wanted to keep some of the nuts for the game for July. And I see I did got a feather somehow, so I was wrong earlier, but it will not help me out because I only have 5 prompts for each of the teams, so that means that no choosing prompts will be allowed, and I will get my boxes and just draw 5 prompts out of each to decide on the books. I have one mushroom, which means that I can double up on one of my priority reads for one of these prompts, and I will go with this one. Now that the game is played and that the prompts are known, it is time to present to you the books that I will be linking to each of these prompts. If you have watched my piles of possibilities videos for this readathon, then you will be familiar with those. If you haven't, then you will discover them. And I hope that with this video, each team will now know where I'm going to try to help. I will start by going over the books for the Adwa to see. And if you wonder why I always start with those, well, it's simply an alphabetical order so that nobody can say that I picked one team over the other. We will have a lot of background noise. It's summer, and that means that all the kids are home, and so I cannot exclude them from living in this house, but well, it stays a family channel. I'm not sure that these books will be in the same order as I picked the prompts, but that has absolutely no influence. It is just a summary of all of them. So the first prompt that I have written down is a field or a road on the cover, and for that I have picked this one, and you can see this book has come in from the library, and in English it is called a Sweet Bean Paste, and you can see that we have like a street, so a road on the cover. And this is a Japanese novel in which you are going to follow along the owner of a little food shop, like we can see here, that sells Japanese pancakes filled with sweet bean paste. And this person seems to be a little bit feeling as a failure in life, have a lot of things happen, and one day he will meet an older lady that has the secret to make the most perfect sweet bean paste, and we will see how that alters his life. And it seems that this lady has a secret to hide that we will uncover. I really like Japanese literature, so I hope that this will be like a light summer breeze. I also see that there was a movie made out of this book, so maybe that's worth investigating as well. The second one here is In Search for Something, and for that I have picked out this one, and I forgot the title in English. It should be in here somewhere. The Book of Form and Emptiness. And the prompt is In Search for Something, and if I understood well, in this book we will meet a 14-year-old boy called Benny, if I'm not mistaken, yes, and his mother, the father of Benny, and so the husband of his mother is died. And since that happened, both are not only a little bit lost with themselves, but also lost together. And in this book, Benny will try to go on with life, and he will find back his mother. So they are finding healing and a way back to each other. Benny will, for that, seek refuge in the library, because objects seems to have a voice and to persecute him a little bit, and his mother has become a hoarder, and it is in the quietness of the library that he will find, if I understood well, a book about himself that will bring him this healing and bring him back together with his mom, and also by meeting like several people. So I think that this might be a very touching story. I heard great good about it, so I am eager also to read that one. I also needed a book in which we are finding out the truth, and for that I have picked The Lighthouse Witches. I know by heart this title. because in this book, Luna is trying to find out what happened really to her family. So she went together with her mother and two sisters, if I'm not mistaken, to a Scottish lighthouse where her mother is going to do a mural painting, and two of the sisters goes missing, and the mom goes missing. And then 22 years later, one of the sisters turns up again, but she's exactly the same age as when she went missing. And so Luna goes back to this lighthouse to find out the truth about everything that happens. And I see that this one is going to be a television show as well. The next prompt I had was a book with an academic setting, and for this one I picked This Book Kills. The title didn't got translated, which is great. And so if I understood well, this is set in a high school where a student out of a minority group has written a perfect crime short story in which somebody is killed, and then it so happens that one of the rich students of her high school gets killed in exactly the same way as in this story. And she is trying to figure out who is the author of this crime, who took her book as inspiration for this crime, because of course, otherwise she is going to have to take the blame for it. If I well understood, because now my eyes fall on like, or she might have the same destiny to be killed. So I think that might be a fun thriller to read. The last one is a fruit or a crop on the cover, and I picked for that Brida. And you're saying, where is the prompt on this one? I will add in another cover next to it, because there is one cover and I think it is great. I hope it is, because it's the only book that is on my wanting to read list that would fit this prompt. But the version I got from the library has another cover. So in this book we are following Brida, who is from Irish descent, and she is looking for the wisdom. She is investigating magic and witchcraft, and how more that she learns, how more people that she meets, the more difficult it seems to become to balance between her social life, her relationships, and what she's learning. And this ends up with the question, is she prepared to leave everything to become a witch? And I really love Paulo Coelho, and it's been a very, very long time I haven't read a book from him. So I hope that I will enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed all the others. Let's get this stack switched with the next one. And let's go have a look at the books that I am planning to read for the Condrosi, and I will have to put a little weight on my reading journal because my tipping flips always back to the same side. So the first prompt for them is a witch or an older lady character in the book, and I have picked this one. In French it is called Quand vient la sorcière, when the witch arrives, sorcière meaning witch, but in English this is called When the Sorceress Comes. And it is one of the first books that is translated from T. Kingfisher, which makes me very happy because there are not that many of them translated. And I like to read my books through the library, and so having them translated will make it way easier for me to access T. Kingfisher's books. In this one, we are following a younger girl, I guess. She's called Cordelia, and she lives in a very strange house or strange way of living with her mother. And I'm looking if her name is on here. Evangeline, I think she's called. And one day they will have to flee the village where they live because Evangeline is accused of murder, of witchcraft also, I think. And coming on this fleet, they come across a richer man who lives with his sister, and she decides that this would be a good way of marrying in this family to secure her and her daughter's life. And together with the sister, Cordelia is trying to save this man from her mother, if I understood well. So I really like how T. Kingfisher mixes several styles of writing together, and I'm very curious to discover this one. I also have greenery on the cover, and for that I have picked this one, and I'm not sure if you can see it well, but we have lots of plants over here, and then technically this is also the cover. We have also grass and other things. This is a French only book. It is called Le Secret de Terre Creuse, or The Secret of Hollow Earth. It's the third one in a series called Le Serment des Sept Miroirs, or The Oath of the Seven Mirrors, and I have already read the first two of this trilogy, so I'm very happy to be able to slot this one in and to finish it up. This is a series that's on the edge between middle grade and young adult, and we are in a very special world. It's like a part of the earth came loose and went up and became floating islands, and there were 4 or more, I think even 7 different tribes created on the earth that all have like a own specific strange magic, and they are all linked with mirrors, and something is trying to escape from there. And so we are trying to find out what is exactly happening, and of course making sure that the world stays intact. I really enjoy this. It is very sweet and very original in what it is, and it saddens me that it is not translated, because I think a lot of younger fantasy readers would really enjoy this one. The next prompt is the main character has a choice to make, and for that I have picked this one, which is Her Radiant Curse, and this is a prequel of the Six Crimson Crowns duology, in which we are following Shani, who in that duology is the mother-in-law of the main character, whose name I've already forgotten. And we are going to discover how she became who she is. So I really think this one is meant to be read after the main duology, so that who this character is stays part of the mystery in that duology as well. And it says that we are going to follow Shani and her sister Vanna, and that to save her sister she will have to make a choice, or to protect her, to make a choice that will shatter her heart. This book is also going to double up for TBR-athon, so I'm pretty sure I will read it very early on in August, which makes me think that I intended to spin a spinner wheel to see for which tribe I would read first. I will have to see how that can work out by doubling this up for TBR-athon, because I needed a fantasy which is part of a series and which is foiled, and so I'm not sure if you can see it right, but the French edition does have foiling, and technically it is a prequel, so the book 0 in a series, so I think we're good. And it's fantasy, of course. The 4th book that I have written down in my reading journal, and don't worry, it's what's coming up next, it's me filling that out, is Boots at Blackthorn Hall. This is a book that I have on my Kindle, so no physical copy for that. And it is a book that is Kindle Unlimited. And if I understood well, we are going to follow an American person who inherited a Victorian age manor or house in England, who is going to live there and trying to resolve a family mystery, and that will have some trouble settling in. And also it seems that this house is a character on its own, so I'm very curious to see how this is done. I have read, like last month, 2 books in which the house has a role, that would be Starling House and The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. So I'm curious to see in what this house will differ from the 2 others. The last book is A Creature from the Other World, and I have picked this one, and if I remember well, it is Girl, Queen, Goddess in English. Let me see, did I got it right? Girl, Goddess, Queen. And in French it is called La Reine des Enfers, or the Queen of the Underworld, and it is a Persephone and Hades retelling. The book that was on the website of the library was like a special edition hardcover, and I think the French cover, it looks way better than the English one, to be honest. In this book, it seems that Persephone wasn't kidnapped by Hades to join the underworld. Nope, she ran off to it to avoid a forced marriage. And now all she has to do is to get Hades on her side of the plan. And it felt like this might be quite original, flipping around the whole story, but also that it might have like one of these badass, quite funny, situation-esque main character. And so I think that this goddess, who is a creature from another world, might be a light and fun read in between maybe some of my heavier August reads. I will also be reading some other stuff, because we saw that I have 4 little reads to go through. I have picked for that the volumes 4 to 7 of the Moriarty manga. I will add in a little picture because I forgot to put the book or the books on my stack over here. And then what else do we have? Oh, we have also the Connection Challenge, for which I noted down a book. You will see that in the next section, but I'm not going really to mention it because at this point I am behind on what I have planned. So I am reading Emily Wilde's 3 that came in later than I wanted, but that was foreseen. And after that, I still need to read the 2 books that I wanted to read for July. And I'm not sure I'm gonna make it through all of those reads, because they only also got here like this week, and we are almost, there's 2 weeks left. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to read them. So I put in the book I wanted for that, and it's the Princess of the Wolves. So Princess of the Wolves, I'll put a cover spread image, but yeah, not sure I'm going to make it. And then I also added in one audiobook, which is the 3rd installment in the Porteur de Mort series, which is a French fantasy series that I'm listening to. I am halfway the 2nd, and I like it way more than the first one, so I'm quite sure I will listen to the 3rd one. And for the rest, I don't know. I don't know, I seem to do way less audiobooking, but then it's summer, the kids are home. We put the household chores on a lower speed. We do only the strictly necessary stuff, so I do listen way less. So we'll see if we'll add to that. I have a total of 12 books on my August TBR, not including the 4 little reads, for 4,605 pages, again, not including the manga, and 19 hours and 23 minutes of audiobook. We get, if you want to see if I managed to read this all and what I thought about these books, you are most welcome to follow along my carousel vlogs, which are weekly vlogs in which I talk to you about the books that I have read that week, but also share some of the activities that I have done alone or together with my family. And to have an idea of more like a statistic part of the wrap-up of this TBR, there is always the wrap-up in my reading journal for the previous month that comes out around the first Thursday of the next month, so that would be start of September. If you do not want to miss anything of this, you could subscribe to this channel, which allows you to easily find it back. You could turn on notifications so that you get a notification when a video comes up, so you can watch it as soon as you would like. And if you enjoyed this TBR, if you think I'm going to read something interesting, you could like this video so that other people can discover my reading plans for August. I wish you a very happy August reading month. See you soon!